Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at is Dodoco Tales actually a good weapon for your Catalyst main DPS users? Let's not waste any time and get started. For this video, I'm going to be focusing on Klee. However, you're going to have pretty similar results for your other main DPS users such as Ningguang and Nianfei. There might be other ones that I have not taken a look at, but these are the ones that I thought were significant as they prioritize their charge attacks more than the other Catalyst users. You can take a look at the results for Yanfei and Ningguang in the Excel file that I attached in the description. Let's take a look at what weapons we're going to be examining, which are going to be Solar Pearl, Widsith, Dodoco Tales, and Mappa Mare. Solar Pearl and Widsith are the two best in slot weapons that are frequently used by the main DPS Catalyst users, and the Mappa Mare is there as a free-to-play option. Remember that free-to-play means for me that you don't get this from Gacha, Paima Shop, and Battle Pass as well. Now, let's go on to the character of Klee, level 80 Ascended with level 8 talents, just the first auto attack. Charge attack is based off of her ability, Pounding Surprise, which gives a 50% increased damage for her charge attack, and then you have her skill based off of just one hit from the skill, and then the burst is looking at each individual burst. We'll be using 4-piece Crimson, assuming you activate the skill twice and switch between crit damage and crit rate depending on which will give you a close to 2-to-1 ratio of crit damage and crit rate. You might not completely agree with my setup, which is fine. We're only going to be comparing the weapons themselves, so this should not make a huge impact except for the crit rate and crit damage. First, let's compare Dodoco Tales R5 with R1. If you actually take a look at the stats, they are relatively similar to each other. Even though the ability is doubled, you have to take into consideration this is only increasing your current charge attack. Hence, instead of 16%, this is going up by 32%. And this is the same for your overall attack as it goes from 8% to 16%. Hence, R5 and R1 is not a big difference, but you might as well get R5 since it is accessible to all of us. Let's compare Solar Pearl with Dodoco Tales next. Dodoco Tales will have a significant higher charge attack than Solar Pearl, while Solar Pearl is higher in every other category. This makes sense that Dodoco Tales is just the counterpart of Solar Pearl as their ability is extremely similar to each other. Hence, Dodoco Tales will triumph in its charge attack, and Solar Pearl will triumph in everything else. This is up to you, but my opinion of Solar Pearl is better because it has a higher base attack, and its substat is crit rate, which is a more difficult substat to obtain in comparison to attack percent. Next will be Widsith, and we're only going to be looking at Aria and recitative buffs for Widsith. Widsith is going to triumph as its crit attack percent buff does help it dominate in comparison to Dodoco Tales in all damage categories. However, if we wanted to take a look at how it would operate if they had similar crits, then Dodoco's is going to be better. Similar scenario to the Solar Pearl, however, the stats of Widsith is just much better than Dodoco Tales. So I still think Widsith is going to be a much better weapon, especially if you get higher refinements of it. Last will be Mappa Mare and Dodoco Tales. Dodoco Tales is going to be significantly better, however this is because Mappa Mare scales off based off of EM. And its ability can only do so much, despite it being able to boost every attack with its ability. If you are to choose a Vapor Melt comp, Mappa Mare is probably going to do better than Dodoco Tales, however in other scenarios, Dodoco Tales is better. To summarize, I believe the best weapons are still going to be Widsith and Solar Pearl for your main DPS Catalyst users, but Dodoco is a good choice if you do not have access to these two weapons. Mappa Mare should only be used if you're going to prioritize on Melt and Vape comps with your team. Once again, you can use the Excel file in the description to take a look at Yanfei and Ningguang to see how they are, but I won't be talking about them since the results are pretty much the same for all of them as well. I hope this was helpful for all of you. Leave a like if it did, and I will see you all in the next video.